You're listening to the Business and Life Podcast, where 7 days a week, proven entrepreneurs share their success stories, failures, and give you true value on how you can build a great business and an awesome life. With your host, Mike Olivas.
All right, Kelly, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely great to have you. So tell our listeners something unique about yourself, professionally, personally, whatever you want.
I guess one of the things that comes up often as unique is also a lot of the core of what the Heartspace Academy is. So I'm a Reiki Master, and so I've been really tuned into my spirituality and our abilities to tap into what I like to call our superpowers for quite some time. And so the ability to kind of channel this universal life force energy and activate those superpowers and psychic abilities that we all hold is something that I think is unique. It's becoming more and more known, which is really refreshing that we're all kind of realizing how powerful we truly are.
Yeah, tell us, how did you get into this?
Yeah, so it started a long time ago as a kid, not really realizing what I was tapping into in those spaces. But it was after a large weight loss journey. I found myself in a dedicated meditation practice about 11 years ago. And a few years into my meditation journey, so 7 years ago now, I was meditating and I received this clear message that I was to look up healing modalities, that I was a healer. And so that brought me on this journey of very serendipitous moments, meeting my first teacher, and it brought me into my own deep healing journey, which then evolved into then with a full cup, turning back and helping others do the same.
And tell us a little bit about Heartspace. So how was Heartspace created after that?
Yeah, so Heartspace was created first as a concept of really learning that what I was doing was learning that was a state of being that I was and was fully embodying, and continuing to pursue that path for myself as living from the heart space, learning the power of heart coherency, learning the intelligence of the heart, and really following, the intuition and learning all about the electromagnetic field. As I continued to grow, and then I opened my private practice as I became a practitioner, that's what I started to operate under as my name. And as I've continued to grow and see the service that I'm here to provide, I opened the Heartspace Academy. So it's continued to evolve with me as my personal journey and my knowledge base has grown. Heartspace has continued to expand and grow within itself as well over the years.
What do you feel that the kind of, let's say, value that you're able to offer to the clientele that you focus on?
Yeah, so the biggest thing is really helping us understand how powerful we truly are, that we are magic in human forms. So when working with people, we really work to heighten the intuition, learning the power of being able to trust the inner voice inside. How do we raise our vibration to be able to rise above fear and really live from that heart space of really just getting rid of those self-limiting beliefs that we place upon ourselves that make us play small in this world. So working through that and then being able to fully activate the ability we are to be our own healers. So that's a healing of our physical body, of our mental body, and our emotional body, so we can fully align into our highest version or our spiritual self.
I'm a huge fan of limiting beliefs in terms of knowing that there's so many limiting beliefs with people. So I love that you said that. And to kind of circle back to the business of life and the listeners that we have, there's a huge angle there in terms of the power of being able to rise above fear. You mentioned that. How would you teach someone that's an entrepreneur, for example, to say, how do they rise above fear? Because fear is a big piece of the entrepreneurship journey. You're going through the journey. You're a part of the journey. You're an entrepreneur yourself, and you found a passion and a niche to kind of focus on, which I think is awesome, by the way. It's how do you rise above fear specifically?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that we're returning to every single day, One, a plug, reading my book, Rise Above Fear. That's a great way to learn.
Please. There you go. Yeah, no, I'm with you.
But yeah, like one of the biggest things I find is first being not afraid to feel the fear of us being able to get in touch with what's coming up and naming it. Because once we're able to start to really notice what it is that we're feeling, we can diffuse the power that it's having over us. And so by able to name it and then start to hold a conversation with the fear that's there, giving it a chance to be spoken with and just let it have a voice. I always like to talk about like these emotions that we coin as negative or, you know, like disempowering. They're just like little kids who just like really want some attention and they just need to be heard. And the more that we ignore them, they're just like, cool, if you're going to ignore me, I'm going to first just like poke at you. If you ignore me, I'm going to go color on the walls. If you keep like ignoring me, well, then I'm going to go start breaking things until we finally are forced to listen. So we're just naming it, identifying where it is in us, and then holding a space for it is a beautiful way to start. And there's an abundance of different techniques and things that you go into, but yeah.
I love that. Have a conversation with your fear. A lot of people that I work with and coach sometimes, and it's obviously a lot of it specifically business, but I'm very spiritual as well. I believe in it. And I think sometimes half the battle is starting with believing, right? And understanding that holding a combo with what you feel is holding you back. Like, what is it, right? And then what is it about that? And then try really just deepen, kind of going into your feelings. Give me a time where you felt you hit in either the entrepreneurship journey or through this journey to create this business, where you kind of felt you've hit rock bottom, and what'd you do about it to overcome that failure and or fear, if you will?
Man, which time? But like, it really is like, I really feel, and it's a conversation I have a lot within the spiritual community and the entrepreneur is it really is synonymous. I feel being an entrepreneur and going in this pursuit is one of the most enhancing to our spiritual journeys ever, because it is so much of us trusting in what's coming through and what we're really feeling we're here to create, and being able to continue to follow in faith and just really move forward and like stay firm in it. So I'm so happy that you bridged the two in that.
Thank you.
The time for me, I would say, was recently. I was just traveling in Europe for 2 months, and I went on a bit of a following my intuition. My heart pulled me that way. And I knew that while I was there, new things would be created and I would teach in time, but I wasn't exactly sure where. And when I dropped down, it was those spaces of just kind of being like, what did I just do? What am I here? And it's really that space of the unknown, being like, I just left the security of where I have my business and where I do events regularly. And it was really just having to go into like, I'm here, and really applying the latest terminology that I'm using within myself, and I invite anyone listening to this, is just applying the golden touch to everything. No matter where I am, no matter what I have, I'm going to add the golden touch, and I'm going to turn it to gold. Really allowing like those opportunities. Everything is an opportunity to make something. And so I was really in a fear of like, I don't know exactly where I'm staying, how I'm flowing. The entire trip for 2 months was led by intuition, no plans. But I came back with amazing new connections. I came back with a retreat coming up later next year in an amazing space, taught in new places. So like just really applying this golden touch mindset that came through allow me to rise above the fear of, I don't know why I'm going here. I just know deep in my calling that it's time to go and ride. Yeah.
Let's talk about the golden touch. What specifically is a golden touch? Is it, let's say there's someone that, let's say I'm in business and I am now, this happened to me, I'm now having to put things on credit cards. I'm looking for 0% interest for as long as I possibly can, right? When I'm starting out the business or the first company I started in, thinking about how does that golden touch apply to someone's mindset in business?
Yeah. So I think there's so much power in us thinking in question, right?
Yeah.
So we're able to empower ourselves to, as soon as we can start to think in question, we can already see that there's a solution available. We're never stuck. We're not trees. We're not stuck. So there's always a solution available. So being able to look in that situation and just ask the question of, how can I make the most of this opportunity? How can I make the most out of this situation? Is going to open that space for the possibilities of where can I apply this golden touch? Just starting to first get out of the space of like, what am I stuck? What am I going to do? Eliminating victim mentality, eliminating the belief of I don't know, because we do know. We might know that we need more information. We might need more space to hear a solution, but we never don't know. We know so much. So eliminating I don't know, eliminating victim, and shifting into the space of how can I make the most of this opportunity? What's available here? And then looking at, okay, this is where I'm at. This is what I have. The golden touch, being able to see how can I work with what I have right now?
Right.
Who's here? Who do I know who might know someone? what can I create right now that builds some momentum? What value can I put out into the world? Just remembering that, the world is literally a give and receive world. We live in a world of what we put out, we're going to get back. And so if there's ever that space of feeling stuck, the golden touch, we can apply, what value do I have that I can give right now, and genuinely let it come from the heart.
Absolutely. I think the eliminating the victim mentality is great in the entrepreneurship journey, Kelly, that I've seen out there as well. So that's a great sound bomb. Thank you for that. Why do you think a lot of entrepreneurs out there in the talking about the golden touch and the mindset angle, why do you think a lot of entrepreneurs out there quit or stop on their business and their dreams? Yeah. Life Nation, we're all striving towards different goals. Maybe your goal is to finally quit the 8-to-5 grind, quit your job, or take the next step with your existing business. Whatever the goal may be, regardless of your reasons, if you are serious about taking the next step and finally trying to build the life that you deserve, the life that you want to live, take the leap of faith. Go to michaelolivas.com and let's discuss your goals and life. It's 100% free. There's no obligation. It's michaelolivas.com. Schedule a quick call. I'd love to help.
Yeah, it comes to one, just that those self-limiting beliefs that can come in, and just it's so deeply rooted in us through society that this is, okay, well, things get rough and this and that, just the perseverance that it takes. Just go play it safe. Just go get to somewhere that's going to give us security. And I don't fault. I never judge anyone. Whatever, feels right for them. But it is this journey takes a lot of perseverance. It takes a lot of heart. It takes a lot of passion. So we have to really believe in what it is that we're going for. And so it hurts my heart when I see people tap out of the game. But I think a lot of people do because there's that one, lack of belief in what they're able to do. And the big thing is the lack of community and the support system that's needed. We need community. We need like-minded people. We need conversations like this, whether it's you and I connecting or the people who are joining us right now, listening. We need that community to be able to you're good, and really being able to have that. So it's the support and our own mental health.
Right. The solopreneurship world is real. It's so real. You're in it. I'm in it. I've always been in it. I've always loved to stay lean in terms of business. I don't want to have hundreds of employees personally. That's just my personal decision. Not that I'm anti-corporate. I'm just anti probably the management world, but I'd rather touch more lives than, and have more of an impact, I guess. And we all can't be everyone to everyone. We're not Amazon or Nutella. But when it comes down to comes down to the understanding that really, currently being in a position where I can travel and doing this podcast in Bogota, Colombia, and you're in New York, and we can just still connect, I think is awesome. So using technology, getting out of the victim mentality is huge. But also, I think a lot of people that are quitting, that I'm getting a lot of, or not say quitting, but at least stepping away, is you hit it on the nail. I think believing in yourself and feeling that I can do it. And that's what entrepreneurship is. It's believing in yourself, because the only reason it won't work is because you won't make it work. Right. And it's hard to say that sometimes. It's not like not being a hard, tough coach, which I do. I coach people, but sometimes it needs a little tough love to understand that you're going to get through this. And the easiest, but also very vague, I guess, sometimes advice that we give, and you probably give to friends, just don't give up. And it's hard to say that, right? Just don't give up. And I guarantee you there's light at the end of the tunnel. Just keep pushing through it. If you're that passionate about it, you will.
I find those moments of, where there's been a dip in business, or I find myself stepping into a space of story. It's never it's always just story. It's literally just, this is not truth right now. There's just a veil that's being put over the screen of the truth that I'm getting caught in. And I find it so liberating. For me, it's when I'm back in the gym. If I find myself in the spaces of oh, I'm getting in my own way, it's just turning up my workouts and putting in my best playlist, and just the level of Phoenix energy that comes through. Nope. I find that is just really what cranks it up, just being I'm not giving up.
Right.
The journey is all about being the best versions of ourselves, whatever that means,
Absolutely.
it's so worth it. Like it's tough, but it's so worth it.
Yeah, it's crazy being on your own or listening to a song or something that triggers it. And I think a lot of times people get triggered. Like you had a weight loss journey that ended up turning into a possible passion, now a business, right? And a lot of people's challenges turn into their businesses, their dreams, their challenges turn into their passions. And I think that's really like they've done it and they're excited. And, human nature is let me show other people how to do it. Let me help people get to that piece of feeling where you get the chills and taking mental notes of those chills and being so stoked about, even in when I'm doing spin class, I'm the same way. I get the chills and I'm like, why am I excited right now? How do I take a mental note? What did I just think about, right? And it's hard to do that, but you got to start getting closer and closer to yourself and knowing how the heck you think, and then hopefully chase that feeling somehow. What are you excited about right now, Kelly, in terms of your business, your industry?
Oh man, there's so much I'm excited about. Like I'm so blessed to be someone who's like so excited.
Awesome, good. I can tell. If you're watching this, she's really excited, by the way, guys.
It's one is just I'm going to kind of go like macro and then I'll break it down to like what I'm doing because it's more about the we right now. But like I'm just excited that we're really in a time of society that like the things that we're all talking about is here. When I started this journey 7 years ago and I was like, yeah, I'm doing this like healing modality thing and I channel energy through my hands. People are like, what are you talking about? And we've now hit a point where everyone's like, yeah, I'm on my spiritual path. Oh, cool. Like you teach Reiki. Amazing. I've been wanting to learn it. Or, oh yeah, I'm really understanding that I have like really amazing psychic abilities, my intuition. Like I'm really excited of where we are as a collective. That's really exciting to me because I want to be on this journey and all of us winning together. And so that just has me jazzed because one, that also, that helps me this is my business. So it helps me to have more people who are interested and investing in themselves with me. But to have just the collective, we're all evolving at such a rapid pace is very exciting. More of a personal side, I have a online journey coming up. Super soon. We're going to roll out with a 10-day Raise Your Vibration live free journey. And then we'll be launching the Commitment to the Commitment 10-week journey. And so that's awesome. Really dialing in and setting the tone of like optimizing ourselves and aligning with our best selves. And then 2020, there's a bunch of retreats coming up. We'll be doing trainings and retreats all around the world. So Heartspace is stacked and going big in the next year. So
that's awesome. So you're saying the initial journey is what again? So then the listeners.
Yeah. So we have in the next in December, we're going to be doing a free 10-day journey for the community of just incubating and raising our vibration. So I'll be giving out a bunch of resources and a bunch of support in a container to really lift ourselves out of fear. And then from there, we'll be doing a 10-week journey. Where it'll be a closed container, a closed group, weekly lessons, support, healing, workouts, all the things to awesome. Like really prime ourselves and like go into 2020 like ready to rock.
What is the end game for you? How does business and life right now? It sounds like you have a very niche type of demographic that business is life, right, for you, and that's great. That's why I love talking to people in your world and your industry, if you want to call it an industry, but in the mindset game. So, is there into the tunnel for Kelly? Is it more of I just want to keep growing this thing and see where it goes from a business perspective?
Yeah, it's a great question. Like, I really enjoy being in the evolution with everything. As I continue to see myself evolve as just a human. There's more of the creative arts and the artistic expressions that I'm doing in my free time. Right. Really allowing that to evolve and playing in that. I wrote a book this summer. Another book has been working in the background on the low key. So, continuing to do the writing and the speaking and just evolving as a human, allowing myself to be the Renaissance woman I am, and just continuing to allow these messages and the empowerment that comes that's available to all of us, bringing the unseen to the seen and helping us all embody it is the end game. However, awesome. Spirit wants to move that through me, I'm in.
I love that. I love when people talk about success being, making a difference versus the dollar amount, because, enjoying that journey and seeing that result, getting there, eventually it'll happen. And it obviously is happening for you already. Tell people where they can find you. Where can they find you on social media, your website? Where can they find your book?
Yeah, for sure. So you can find the book on Amazon. Rise Above Fear by Kelly Keefe. And I feel called, I just need to say, I'm glad you said that. I'm just that reminder to everybody, like when we put the focus on the value that we're providing, the money will come.
Yep.
And like for me, I have found the moments that I steer into like, oh, I need to make money and be money driven, it doesn't work out the right way. It's as soon as I put the focus on the value, everything falls into place and the support comes. So you can find me on heartspace.co is the website. You can find me on Facebook with that as well, on Instagram. If you want to connect with me more directly, Instagram, I am Kelly Keefe. That's Kelly, K, 2 E's, F as in Frank, E. And email is info@heartspace.co. So you can sign up for my newsletter on the website or directly reach out to me. I always am happy to talk with you and see how we can work together.
Awesome. Thank you for that. So definitely go find Kelly. If you were to give us one piece of parting advice, Kelly, for entrepreneurs out there that are focusing on entrepreneur, building the life that they want to live, that's what the show is all about. That's why, trying to focus on understanding that there's two aspects of it, right? Because and usually life wins, not business. And so what would that advice be to some of the aspiring and or those that have a business currently? Yeah,
great question. I'd say making sure that the why you're doing things is rooted in the heart, and taking the time, investing time to get in touch with what the heart really wants and the why. So that way you can continue to come back to that. And like, that's going to steer everything as you continue to go. Get into the heart, hear the wisdom of that, and let that be what leads you.
Awesome. Thank you, Kelly, for dropping your knowledge, spiritual bombs on us today. That's been amazing. I hope that you keep warm there in New York, and we will catch you on our next time that we jump on for your next book.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mike. Such a pleasure.
Thanks so much.
Cheers.
Bye-bye. Life Nation, you got to remember that in order for things to change, you must change. And in order for things to get better, you must get better. You just got better by hanging out with me, Michael Libas, and the Business and Life Nation. So come back tomorrow because I'm here dropping sound bombs 7 days a week, baby. If you'd like to subscribe, please do, so you can take action and execute. See you tomorrow.